You'll grab onto a lacrosse ball, and then from there you'll find your rhomboid, so that attachment muscle from the spine to the scapula. You'll hang out right in through here, and then from there, of course, you'll start with the perimeter. So basically what you're trying to do is imagine that your T-spine is all stuck up with all of your scapula muscles that are kind of binding to the T-spine and creating a little hunch. So what we're trying to do is go from the spine away, so that way we can try to floss this scapula away from the T-spine, and we can find that front rack. So the issue number one is going to be rhomboids. Is how tight are the rhomboids gluing this scapula back to the spine and making it impossible for it to kind of wing out for us to find front rack. You'll travel down the perimeter until you can kind of get into this lower lat. Find the bottom corner of the scapula, right where it hugs up next to the lat, and then we'll get on down. So, I'm here. I find that area. I'm using a lacrosse ball so that way I can really be confrontational with it. I ease over. I'll try to make sure that you can see it. I ease over so you can see it right in through there. And then now I'm going to find internal and external rotation, just like you practice, just like you know. And then eventually you're going to kind of scooch yourself down until you find the back of that teres minor. And once you get into external rotation, I want you to bring your elbow up. So notice that it's no longer in line with my shoulder, but I've now moved it up. And then from there, I want you to kind of lean into there and then lean back. Notice that the hand's probably not going to be able to touch the floor behind you. So from there, let's hang out. Let's see if we can't use a little bit more force. Take the hand, kind of press it down, ease a little back and forth, kind of flossing out that teres minor, maybe rolling around side to side. And then from there, you'll grab on maybe to a bench. I'm going to pull this bench on over here. And then now we got the teres minor, sure, but that's also the insertion point of the triceps. So now you're going to see if you can't try to travel that from now the tricep going side to side. I go side, side, I extend and flex. I'm really trying to see if I can't unlock a little bit of these tricep tissues. And then the focus area is going to be right where the tricep inserts in through the elbow. You're going to try to basically find your funny bone, and then from there kind of knead in through there, rock it around, bring the arm around, maybe floss the ball down so it doesn't roll too much. I bend, I extend, I find something a little gristly, and through here I try to relax over it. I shift a little side to side. Oh, that kind of sends shooting stuff all the way up my shoulder, letting you know that it is not just your shoulder, it is not just your tricep, it is not just your pec. It's the whole structure that needs a little bit of opening. And then we're going to come now to the other side and the back side of the forearm. Back side of the forearm, I basically want to work on this chunky tissue right here. You can do this with your thumbs and your forearms. Notice I'm here, I grab on, I kind of pinch grip my own thumbs, and then from there I roll around, rotate, rotate, rotate around. Or I can grab onto the ball, which now my cat is obsessed with. I can hang out right in through here, and then I can rock range of motion. Want to make sure that you can both kind of go side to side with the wrist, and then also peel it forward and back, forward and back. I find something right here. I'm going to hang out. I'm not going to move away from this area until I stop hearing or stop feeling that kind of click over the extensor muscles of the fingers. Those travel all the way up. And oftentimes when they're pulled back all the time, then this it affects not just right in through here, but all the way in through there. And then, of course, don't worry, we'll deal with the problem area, last but not least. But you'll hang out maybe 90 seconds on the tricep going down to that back of the forearm, and then you're going to just hang out right on the meaty part of this forearm. So the front of your forearm, that should feel pretty great as you go down, down, down. You freestyle it, so take your time with it. And then I'm going to try to find the outside of this ulna. So my radius and my ulna, I want to try to floss in between those two bones right there. And then I'm just going to flex and point and flex and point. Then I'm going to kind of move on up until I get more to the heel of my hand. From there, you're going to get right at the base of where that thumb, that extensor muscle from the thumb kind of inserts into that carpal tendon that you have, and floss that right out and through there, and then get into the thumb itself. So you're going all the way, trying to travel that fascial line from the insertion point of the teres minor all the way down, whirring around in through your forearm. Make sure that you loosen up all that junk. And then, last but not least, end up in the thumb. Pull the thumb away, flex, point, kind of, or try to move it around even though I'm flossing it down and through here. And then afterwards, of course, see what kind of difference it makes in through your front rack, and then rock it on the other side. After you're done rocking it on both sides, then you'll do some wrist work. Your first one is going to be prayers. So here we are. Let us pray together, Brett. As I bring my hands together, and then I'm just going to slide them down, down, down until you notice, oh, the heel of my hand starts to come away. I'm going to hang out there, stretch in through my fingertips, maybe roll on over, spread my fingertips out wide, roll out to the side. And then I'll come back up again. Maybe I'll do that again. I try to keep the heel of the hand as close as you can. Of course, it'll peel away eventually, and then you'll get kind of a stretch as you go back and forth. There'll only be so much of that you can take, and then you'll want to find the opposite, so hands down, and then get that little stretch as you extend right in through here. It should shoot all the way up. Oh, I missed that. I should do this more. And then from there, you'll now try to find prayer, but now behind you. So you're in internal rotation. So I extend back behind me, internal rotation. Maybe at first I just kind of grab onto my ankles, or sorry, grab onto my wrists. And then from there, if I can I grab my fingertips? If you can grab your fingertips, awesome. Can you kind of snuggle, 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 snuggle your way up? If you can do that, can you snuggle, snuggle, snuggle your way to your heels touching, or the heel of your hand, that is. And then once you're in this position, you realize, okay, this is that internal rotation, that kind of banded catch, or that kind of muscle up catch, or bottom of the ring dip, bottom of the push-up. So you'll hang out here, wherever you are, wherever your prayer ends up being, and then kind of just roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Do that about 5, 6, 7, 8 times. You'll notice it'll feel all the way in through here, all the way in through the elbow, and probably out the wrist. Let me know how that goes. Then you're going to drape yourself over that bench. You're going to grab on in through the pec. I'm going to hang out so that way I can go over the bench. So I'm hanging out right in through here so my arm can kind of just be dead weight. And then I can explore bringing it out, around, all the way up. I might bring it back behind me. I'll floss that. Yeah, that's pretty good. I can knead in through there. Isn't that right, Kiki? And about 45 seconds here, so also working on shoulder blade, kind of pulling back and down. So you'll periodically do that, of course, without losing your ball. And as always, have some fun with it. All right, next you're going to find that insertion point of your QL and your psoas and your lat. So it's right at the bottom of your ribs, right at your 12th rib, right up in here. There's a whole collection of muscles, which is why it ends up getting pretty sticky. So you're going to take your lacrosse ball and you're going to find that spot obliquely, which means from the side. So instead of going directly on, I'm going to go off to the side. So instead of going directly on, I'm going to go off to the side, move off to the side, and see if I can't push it inwards. And then I'm going to start to slide down, down, down the QL. And then I'm going to get into this high hip area where I'm just going to mash and attack these upper glutes. You'll eventually go all the way down until, what do you know, you find your piriformis, and that'll be just delightful. So the way it'll work is I come on down, I grab on, I find a spot where I kind of can lean over to the side, and then I'm just going to kind of move my leg around. So I lean over to the side, I bring the knee in, I fully extend it, I bring the knee in, I fully extend it, and I just want to see if I can't kind of floss that QL out, get it a little unstuck. Maybe I'll bring the knee all the way into the chest, Gotta slow myself down. I'm talking too fast. Gotta practice what I preach a little. Notice that every time you might be able to afford to get that knee in a little, maybe travel it out again. And eventually you're going to shimmy all the way down. Eventually, once you get up to the sacrum and the top of the hip, you'll be like, okay, no bone. I'm going to want to scooch myself down now to the top of my glutes. I'm just going to lay down. It's going to be super lazy mobilizing today. You're just going to rock a little side to side. Notice that my leg right now is dead weight. That's what I'm choosing to do as I rock side to side. Maybe I'll switch it up. I'll find a spot. I'll hang out. Oh, yeah, found it. Right in through the side there. And then maybe now I'm going to explore with the leg. Maybe I'll explore clamshells. Oh, bad decision. Shouldn't have taken that advice. And then you'll continue to move down until, boom, I'm in my piriformis. You won't get here as fast, but you'll definitely get to a place that feels pretty juicy quickly. And then just kind of move all around. Keep it super dynamic because you're doing this pre-WOD. So because there's some back squats and power snatches, just make sure that you're super aware of your hinge, of your posterior chain, of the power that you have through your glutes. So get to know them. I bring the knee in, and then from there, I'm going to find that reclining hero pose where I grab onto the knee, I grab onto the ankle, and I tuck it in tight. I may add the bottom knee and kind of bring that in, or I may just let it fully extend. I hang out here, take my own advice. If you want and you found a spot with the ball that you want to explore with this stretch, then you can. Otherwise, if it's too distracting, the ball can come on out and you can just get this stretch on. After that, you have T-spine rotations with your knees locked. So knee on top of knee, I'm going to rotate my hips all the way over. And then from there, with my knees this way, knee on top of knee, I find 5 of those rotations. So pancake across and then all the way up, 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 up. Take an inhale just in case you forgot to get tall. And then exhale. See if you can't rotate up and over. Do 5 on each side and then rock tomorrow's WOD. Let me know how your front rack is feeling.